Okay, welcome back to the channel. So today, big topic. I'm going to talk about how to increase your calories to lose more body fat and lose body fat. Okay, so firstly, I want to go over why most diets fail. Okay, because people don't seem to have a problem losing weight. People have a problem keeping weight off afterwards. The majority of people that try to lose weight do, but they also tend to gain it back and even more in the future. I'm going to kind of break down why, and hopefully you will not make that mistake. Because let's face it, we've all made that mistake at some point in our life. So my goal today is to show you how to have a successful fat loss phase and keep the weight off long term. So I want you to imagine now you've started a diet, okay? Let's say you started at whatever, 2,500 calories, a little bit of cardio, maybe 3 sessions a week at 20 minutes. You're training 3 times a week, a pretty standard plan. Let's say you went from 100 kilos and you've come down to 95, 90, 85. Let's say you finished at 80 kilos. You're happy with the look. It's been a tough 16 weeks or so. You went from 100 to 80, let's say you did 20 kilos, okay? Now, I want you to imagine that, because this is what happens in most cases, you start at 2,500 calories. At the end of your fat loss phase, wherever that is, your calories have come down, your cardio and steps have massively come up. So imagine you've finished at 1,500 calories, 40 minutes of cardio 5 times a week, okay, and 12,000 steps a day. So very high output, low input, low food, big deficit, and you've taken all this body fat. Now, your metabolism is not what it was at 100 kilos. 100 kilo you versus 80 kilo you, 2 different metabolisms, okay? And if 80 kilo you starts eating what 100 kilo you was eating and stops training and doing cardio, he will gain body fat a lot quicker than this guy, and he will skyrocket back to 100 kilos and probably even further. We've all seen it. I've seen it so many times. How many people do you know that get in shape and 6 months later they're out of shape again, and they've got to get back in shape and they're out of shape, and they just yo-yo up and down? So listen up, I'm going to show you how to keep that weight off long term. So imagine this could be, you don't have to be 100 kilos, this could be a female, whoever it is, you are at the end of your fat loss phase. The next couple of months are crucial to keeping this weight off, keeping the muscle you've built, this new physique that you've just worked so hard for. It's time to keep it. So what I want you to do is the following. You need to start a reverse diet. It is so important. You'll never be able to get it across in a video. It is just as important as the fat loss phase, if not more important. So imagine you have your starting calories and cardio, 16, 20 weeks, whatever, you have your finished calories, cardio and steps, right? Everything's higher and food is lower. What we want to do is we want to take ourselves up to maintenance calories, okay? So the diet is not over. You don't then just go away for summer for 8 weeks and drink whatever you want and eat whatever you want and just expect to stay in shape. You have to go into a reverse diet. So imagine you started at 2,500 calories, you come down to 1,500 calories. Let's say your maintenance is 2,000 calories. What you're gonna do is the minute you finish that diet, you're gonna come up to 2,000 calories, and you need to be strict here because your body is going to be fighting against you. Hunger through the roof, cravings through the roof, fatigue is still very high, okay? And it's so easy to overeat. This is why I'm not a big fan of people finishing a fat loss phase and just going on holiday. Again, people, dieting down for a wedding, straight on the honeymoon. They come back the same weight they left, but after 10 days. So think, calories come up to maintenance. What this is going to do, it's going to wash off some fatigue, feel a little bit better. It's going to allow you to eat more food, your carbohydrates and fat intake can come up a little bit higher, and you're going to see a small increase in the scales, but it tends to just be water retention, a little bit of glycogen almost refilling out. You're coming from a depleted state to a normal state. We want this. This is normal. A couple of kilos is normal. During this time, it is so important, guys, that you continue to train, you continue to do your steps and cardio. However, the steps and cardio can come down a touch. If you finished on, let's say, 12,000 steps and you're doing 5 cardio sessions at 40 minutes a week at a time, you could go from 12,000 steps to 10,000 steps a day, and you could take your cardio from 5 times 40 to maybe 4 times a week times 30. This way, you're still doing cardio, you're still doing your steps, but you've just pulled back a little bit. What this will do is this will allow your metabolism, it will give it time to catch up. So your calories have come up and your body's going to kind of start to break even. And what will happen is your body will get used to this food and it will solidify kind of a new weight. Okay? And what this will do is allow you to keep this result. After a few weeks at maintenance, let's say you've gone from 1500 to 2000, you might then bump it from 2000 to 2200. Again, via carbohydrates and fats, a little increase there. And then your cardio might drop again. So instead of doing, you've gone from 5 40 minutes, 3 30 minutes, maybe we'll go 3 20 minutes. And maybe steps will probably stay at 10K, if I'm honest. So again, we've had a small bump up in calories via carbohydrates and fats. We've had a small reduction in cardio, but it's still in, and then steps are still in. I would always recommend doing some form of steps and cardio all the time, no matter what phase you're in, just for health benefits as well. I guarantee you, after a couple of weeks, your body you'd still probably be in striking distance when you finish down at 1500 calories. Let's say it was 80 kilos, you might have come up to 82 when you went from the steepest part of your deficit to maintenance. And then when you make these little jumps, you're probably going to stay around that 82, maybe creep up to 83, but you'll remain lean, and your training will improve, your lifts will improve, your fatigue will wash off, and suddenly you get to a point where it's like, hold on, my appetite is coming back to normal, my hunger is starting to come down, I actually feel pretty good. Once you get to that stage, that takes kind of 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you're locked in, you can keep this result. And then I always recommend pushing calories. So as I said, imagine you're on 2200, you're then going to creep up to 2400, and every couple of weeks you bump it up, 200 calories. Obviously there's different ways to do this. You can be conservative and go 100 calories a month, whichever way, but you want to get yourself up to maintenance fairly quickly. I've seen this with clients where they've finished their fat loss phase, we've crept them up to maintenance and gone up and up and up, and they've gone 1,000 calories up, and they've stayed at the same body weight as when they finished their diet, except they're not hungry anymore, and they've cracked it. They've maintained that lean physique with an increase in calories, and their metabolism has kind of caught up to the food. These people will not rebound. These people will not binge. And then they're in a really good position where they can go into a gaining phase where they're very lean. They can just maintain a great look year round because they've cracked it. Don't be someone that finishes a diet at 1500 calories, goes away to get pissed for 3 weeks, then stops training, and then 8 weeks later you're just as fat as you were at the start, except your metabolism's crashed and you just hate yourself, and then it's so hard to get motivated and get back into it. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in the notes section, subscribe, give me a like, give me some abuse, I'll take it all.